Hello students, welcome to grammar class. Children, now we are going to see standard 9th English grammar, unit 3, clauses and phrases. Children, let us discuss detailedly about what is clauses and what is phrases, what are the different types of clauses and what are the different types of phrases. First, let us discuss what is clauses. Okay children, what is clauses? A clause is a group of words that contains a subject and a verb. It may be the whole sentence or just part of a sentence. Actually, children, what is clauses? A clause is a group of words that has both subject and verb. Now tell me what is subject. Children, already in last class we have discussed, we have learnt about subject. What is subject? Children, you all know that to get what is subject, we have to ask the question who. It comes before the verb. Okay, so it consists of noun or pronoun and it occurs before a verb. For example, Nancy danced well. Nancy is the subject, dance is the verb. Do you all remember what is subject? I have taught you in the 8th standard. Yes, subject, it answers the questions for who. That is what is the subject. In the sentence pattern you have learnt what is subject. Okay, now tell me what is verb. A verb shows an action or activity or work done by the subject. What is the work done by the subject? That is called as the verb. Okay, so what are the work we do? See, my children are very sincere towards their study, so daily they'll write homework, is it? So 9th girls and boys write homework daily. So here write is the verb. Okay children, so actually what is clause? Clause is the group of words. It has both subject and verb. One more important thing is it gives you a complete meaning. Okay, so clause, it gives you a meaning. Okay children, this clause which has subject and verb is divided into two types. So what are the two types of clauses? Independent clause and dependent clause. So independent clause, it's also known as main clause. Dependent clause is also known as subordinate clause. Let me repeat once again. Children, clause is a group of words which has subject and verb. This clause is divided into two types, which is independent clause and dependent clause. So independent clause is also known as main clause. Dependent clause is also known as subordinate clause. Now let us discuss in detail about the independent and dependent clause. So now let us see what is independent clause. Children, an independent clause is a clause that has one subject and one verb. So it will have one subject and one verb in a sentence. Okay children, it is also known as a simple sentence because it expressed a complete thought. It will give you a complete thought. Okay children, independent clause, it will give you a complete thought. See children, independent clause is also known as main clause and it will give you a complete thought. Okay, it has one subject and one verb. See, we can see by seeing the examples, definitely you will understand. See children, the first example, the bird flew away. Here the bird, actually bird is the subject and flew is the verb. Okay, so by reading the sentence, no, the bird flew away. I hope you will understand. So the bird has flew away. Okay, so you see the next example. I caught the ball. Here I is the subject which is given in the pronoun. Okay, so caught is the verb. So I caught the ball. So it gives you a complete meaning. It gives you a complete thought what you are thinking. I got a ball. So it gives you a complete meaning. So see next example. She studied for her hard test. So here she is the subject and studied is the verb. So it has a subject and verb, and it has given you a complete thought. But while in the sense, this dependent clause, Noma, see in independent clause, once again I'll tell you, see, a group of words that can stand on its own as a sentence. It has a subject, a verb, and it will give you a complete thought. But in the case of dependent clause, it has a subject and verb, but it will not give you a complete thought. Okay ma, this subordinate clause, this dependent clause, it has a subject and verb, but it will not give you a complete meaning, it will not give you a complete thought. In the same way, this independent clause, it has a subject and verb, it will give you a complete thought. Okay children, this is the difference between the independent clause and dependent clause. One more thing ma, this dependent clause, it always depends on the independent clause to make a complete sentence, to give you a complete meaning. This dependent sentence will depends upon the independent sentence. See, for example, okay, when it is raining, so this is when it is raining is the dependent clause. It is not a complete thought. Are you getting a complete thought? No, is it? So it is depending on the independent clause to give you a complete meaning. Okay, so when it is raining, I went out. So I is the subject, went is the verb. So this dependent clause, it depends on the independent clause to give you a complete thought. Okay children, see some more examples we will discuss so that you will understand better. See, because I woke up late this morning. Oh, one more thing children, this dependent clause will always begins with the subordinating conjunctions. So I told you, dependent clause will not give you a complete thought. Okay, even though they have a subject and verb, they will not give you a complete thought. So they will depends upon independent clause. Okay ma, so see, always this dependent clause will begin with the subordinating conjunctions. What is subordinating conjunctions? So we have studied already. What is subordinating conjunctions? Subordinating conjunctions are the words that link a dependent clause to an independent clause. So it is a linking word which connects the dependent clause to the independent clause. Okay, I hope you all have studied in this conjunction while we read. So first tell me what is conjunctions. Last year we read, is it? Do you remember what is conjunction? It is a connector. That is, it's a word or phrase that join two sentence or group of words together. It helps to connect two words. That is what is the conjunctions, is it? So here subordinating conjunction means what? Subordinating conjunction or the words that helps to link, that helps to connect a dependent clause to independent clause, to an independent clause. So what are the subordinating conjunctions we have? After, before, when, since, until, as soon as, because, so, now that, in order that, as if, whether, as long as, unless, provided that, so long as, if, while, although, even though, whereas, even if, whenever. So children, dependent clause, it always begins with the subordinate conjunction. Subordinating conjunction, it helps to link dependent clause with independent clause. Okay, it helps to link, okay, dependent clause with independent clause. So see here everything is started with the subordinating conjunction. You can see because, when, if. So it helps to connect with the dependent clause. See, second example, when we arrived in the class. Okay, so here it is incomplete. We is there, we is the subject, arrived is there, arrived is the verb. Okay, but even though it is not giving you a complete meaning, so that is only is the that is what is the dependent clause, which depends on the independent clause to give you a complete thought, to give you a complete meaning. I hope children you have understood something. See children, let us discuss once again what is independent clause and dependent clause. Children, dependent clause, okay, independent clause, it has subject and verb. Okay, it has subject and verb and it will give you a complete thought. Okay ma, this dependent clause, actually both have a group of words children, both dependent clause and independent clause, they have a group of words, they have a subject and verb. I hope you all know what is subject, I hope you all know what is verb, but independent clause will give you a complete thought. Dependent clause will not give you a complete thought or meaning, it will not give you a complete meaning. So it depends on the independent clause so that it will give you a complete thought. Okay children, finally this dependent clause is further divided into actually it is divided into three types. What is that? Adjective clause, adverb clause and noun clause. Now let us discuss what is adjective clause. An adjective clause is a subordinate clause that modifies a noun or pronoun. Children, first tell me what is adjective. What is adjective children? We have studied already. Is it? What is adjective? Adjective is a word used to add more, that is it gives more meaning about the noun, it gives more information about the noun, it modifies a noun, it gives you a more meaning about a noun. That is what is the adjective. Now what is clause? Clause is a group of words. Okay, so see, from this itself you will understand what is clause. Clause is a group of words which has a subject and verb. Okay, so adjective means what? It gives more information about the noun. So see, an adjective clause gives you more information about a noun and it will tell us which one, what kind or how many. Okay, so it will tell us it is which one, what kind or how many. See, by seeing the examples you will identify what is adjective clause, what is adverb clause. Okay children, see here, the man who is standing over there is a product development manager. Okay children, so see here the man is the noun, so it is so adjective is what? It describes a noun. How it is getting described? Who is standing over there. Okay, who is standing over there. Okay man, so it is describing now. Who is standing over there is a product development manager. Okay, so this is the adjective clause. See some more example. So it is describing about the man. So next example, see, the team has come out with product. So the team has come out with the products that have more features for the customers. So this is the adjective clause which describes about the noun. Okay children, so I hope you have understood what is adjective clause. One more example, see here. The book that I left on the bus belongs to Mrs. Chitra. Okay, so the book that I left on the bus belongs to Mrs. Chitra. So the book is the noun and that, okay, that is the subordinating conjunction. I left on the bus. Okay, so that is the adjective which describes about the book. Okay children, so that is what is the adjective clause. Okay ma, adjective clause is nothing but it describes about the, adjective is describes about the noun. Here it's a group of words which describes about the noun. Okay children, this is what is the adjective clause. Okay, now let us discuss about the next dependent clause. Next type of dependent clause, that is adverb clause. What is adverb clause? Adverb clause, the clause that function as an adverb. They tell why, where, when, what happens in the sentence. Actually, children, tell me what is an adverb. An adverb clause describes or gives more information about the verb Is it? So adverb is nothing but which gives you more information about the verb. So and then it will tell us when, where, how, to what extent or under what conditions something is happening. Okay, so it will tell us. So adjective clause will tell us which one, what kind or how many. That is adjective clause. Adverb clause will tell us when, where, okay, how, to what extent or under what condition something is happening. It will tell you regarding that. See here, see for example, when the timer rings, we know the cake is done. Or we can also write that we know the cake is done when the timer rings. Okay, children, see, when is the subordinating conjunctions. Okay, it is a subordinating conjunction. So the timer ring. So that it describes the verb now. So that is what is the adverb clause. Okay, children, so one more example I would like to give you. She was happy because her father gave her a watch. Okay, children, see here. See this example. She was happy because her father gave her a watch. So she was happy because it's a subordinating conjunction. Okay, because her father gave her a watch. So this gave her a watch. Okay, so see, so that is the adverb clause. Okay, children, I hope you have understood what is adverb clause. It's very easy, man. Adverb means what? It describes or it gives more information about the verb. Okay, it gives you more information about the verb, and it will tell us when, where, how, to what extent, under what condition something is happened. Okay, so that is what is the adverb clause. Okay, children, so now let us see the next example. What is next about the noun clause? What is noun clause? What is noun clause? A noun clause is a dependent clause that works like a noun. Okay, now tell me what is noun. Noun is a naming words, we all know. So if I always used to tell you in when I ask you what is this, what is that, now you have to explain me in a sentence. So what is noun? A noun is a word used as a name of a person, place or thing or an idea. Okay, children, so here a noun clause is a dependent clause that works like a noun. You can find it as a subject or object. So it may be like a subject or object. See here, as a subject, what she wrote is interesting. Okay, children, so here she is the noun or pronoun. Okay, so here it is described with the subordinating conjunction what. So and we have, it is followed by the subject and it is followed by the verb wrote. That is the noun clause. Then as a object, I read what she wrote. Object means you all know. So what is object now? Do you remember what is object? To get the object, we can ask the question what or whom. So what is for the direct, that is, do you remember what is for the DO, direct object, and whom is for the indirect object? In the sentence pattern we have learnt already. Okay, children, so Seema, let me explain you once again. So this dependent clause, it always depend on the independent clause to give you a complete meaning. Even though it has a subject and verb, it will not give you a complete meaning. So this dependent clause is divided into three types: adjective clause, adverb clause, and noun clause. What is adjective clause? Adjective clause, it gives you more information about a noun and it will tell us which one, what kind or how many. Okay children, for example, the book I left on the bus belonged to Mrs. Chitra. So the book is the noun. That I left on the bus, I left on the bus is the adjective clause. Okay children, so next is the adverb clause. Adverb clause, it gives you more information about the verb and it will tell us when, where, how, to what extent or under what condition something is happening. See, for example, when the timer rings, we know the cake is done. So here, so we all know the cake is done. How? When the timer rings. Okay children, so next we will move with the noun clause. In noun clause, it is nothing but it takes the place of a noun in a sentence. Okay children, it takes a place in the noun of a sentence. See, what she wrote is interesting completely. She is the we all know she is the subject, wrote and verb. So what she wrote, what is the subordinating conjunction. Okay children, yes, so I hope you have understood what is clause. Clause is a group of words which has both subject and predicate. This clause is divided into two types, independent clause and dependent clause. Independent clause are also known as main clause and it will give you a complete sentence. Okay, they can stand alone and express a complete thought and they have a subject and verb. Dependent clause are also known as subordinate clauses. Okay, subordinate clauses, it has both subject and verb, but they do not give you a complete thought. Okay, this dependent clause is further divided into three types: adjective clause, adverb clause and noun clause. Okay children, so now let us discuss what is phrases. Okay, tell me actually why I am teaching you this clauses and phrases. Children, actually they see these clauses and phrases will tell you, will give you more accurate and more easy information, that is how to speak in English. Okay children, yes, so now let us discuss what is phrases. What is phrases now? Okay ma, what is phrase? A phrase is a group of two or more words functioning as a meaningful unit within a sentence or clause. See here children, actually a phrase, it is a group of words. It is also a group of words that forms a meaningful unit, but it is not a complete sentence. It will not have a complete sentence. Okay children, it will give you a meaningful thought, it will give you a meaningful unit within a sentence, but okay, but it will not give you a complete sentence. It will be meaningful, but it will not give you a complete sentence. Okay, it will be like a like it will not, it is not fulfilled. Okay, it will be like an incomplete sentence. Okay, so in other words, if I go, it does not have a subject or verb. It will not have either a subject or verb. That is what is the phrases. But in the case of clauses, it has both subject and predicate. But phrases will not have a subject and predicate. Okay children? Okay children, I hope you have understood what is phrases. Children, actually why we are reading clauses and phrases now? Children, these clauses and phrases are the basic building blocks of a sentence. Okay, it is a basic building blocks of a sentence. Although it seems to be very simple, but they can function in a complex ways in English grammar. Okay, so it can function as a complex in your grammar. Okay children, so this it may be looking very basic, but it is a building block of a sentence. So what we are reading, the clauses and phrases. Okay children, I hope you have understood the difference between the clause and phrase. Children, clause has both subject and verb and it will give you a complete meaning. Phrase also, it also function as a meaningful unit, but it doesn't have a subject or a verb. So now let us discuss the different types of phrases. See, we have a noun phrase, verb phrase, adjective phrase, adverb phrase and prepositional phrase. So see, there are 7 types of phrases: noun phrase, verb phrase, adjectival phrase, adverbial phrase, participle phrase, prepositional phrase and absolute phrase. So but for your level we are going to discuss what is noun phrase, verb phrase and prepositional phrase. Okay children, so now first let us discuss about the noun phrase. What is noun phrase? Children, we all know what is noun, we all know what is noun clause. Okay, so now let us discuss about what is noun phrase. Okay ma, see here. A noun phrase includes a noun, a person, place or thing. That is what is the noun. Okay, noun is the name of a person, place or thing, and the modifiers. So what is modifiers here? I have written modifiers. What is modifiers? Modifier is nothing but a person or thing that makes partial or minor changes to something. It makes a partial or minor changes to something. That is what modifiers, which distinguish it. Think of it as a phrase that plays the role as a noun. See, by seeing the example you will understand. I like singing in the bath. That is, I like it. So see here children, some more example I would like to give you. The white car. So see here, we all know car. Car is the noun. So it is getting modified by saying the white car. Okay children, the white car. Okay, next, my English teacher. Here my is the modifier. The bookshop. The is the modifier. The bookshop. Then the pink house is for sale. The pink house. That is what is the modifier. Actually noun phrase is nothing but not only the noun along with the group of words. That is the bookshop. Na shop is the noun along with the book. It's a group of words. So it is a noun phrases. Okay children, so see here, singing in the bath. So okay, so along with that is the bath. Along with that is the bathroom. Okay, so the bath. So that is what is the noun phrase. I hope you have understood children. See, noun it's a naming words. So along with that we will get a modifier. It's a group of words. That is what is the noun phrase. That's it. See, give some example. One, the white car, the English teacher, the bookshop, the pink house. Okay, so along with that, the white car, the white is the noun phrase. Okay children, so I hope you have understood what is noun phrase. Okay, now let's discuss about the some more examples here. I know the back streets. I have met the last remaining chef. So chef, the last remaining is the noun phrase. The backstreet street is the noun, the back is the noun phrase. Okay children, so now let us discuss about the verb phrases. What is verb phrases? Okay, already you know what is verb. Verb is the action or it will give you an activity or work done by the subject. That is what is the verb. Now let us discuss what is verb phrases. Very easy ma. Along with the verb we will get a group of words. That is what is the verb phrase. Along with the noun we will get a group of words. That is what is the noun phrases. Okay, if you are very clear about what is noun, what is verb, what is the adjective, what is adverb, you will go with the answers. Okay children, so first let us discuss about the verb phrases. A verb phrases includes the main verb and one or more helping verb. So it has the main verb. Verb phrase has the main verb and it has one or more helping verbs. Now tell me, what is main verb, what is helping verb? See here, what is main verb? Main verb is nothing but verbs that indicates an action. That is, for example, see, go, come, touch, eat, slap, learn, study, cook, etc., etc. So what all will do regular is action. That is all the main verb. Okay, I'll tell you what is the helping verb. Helping verb, that is, as the name goes, helping verb. See, helping verbs are the verb that help or support the action, that is, that help or support the main verb in a sentence. They are also called as auxiliary verbs. So what is that helping verbs? I'll tell you. It supports the action verb. I have told you. Helping verb, it support the main verb. What is helping verb now? See, to be form, to have form, to do form, modal auxiliary verbs. See, what is to be form? Na? Is, am, or, was, were, is being, am being, are being, were being, been, being. It is all to be form. To have form, has, have, done. Okay, to do form, do, does, did. Modal auxiliary verbs, can, could, may, might, should, would, will, shall, must, ought to, etc. This is all helping verbs. See here, like for example, see, I am going. Am is the helping verb. Going is the action verb. So this is what? So verb phrase is nothing but it has main verb and one or more helping verbs. See, by seeing the examples you will understood. See, example, first example, Swami was born in Miami, Florida. Was born is the helping verb. Here, see, was born is the verb phrase. Okay, children, was is the helping verb, born is the main verb. Okay, so together it is a verb phrase. Together it has become the verb phrase. Okay, children, he did he did live in Austin, Texas capital. Okay, so did is the helping verb, live is the action verb. Have you not seen the owners of this home? Children, in some time, verb phrase get interrupted by negative and interrogative sentences. It is getting interrupted with the negative sentences. So here we have a negative sentence, not. So in between have is the helping verb, seen is the action verb. In between you, not is there. You all know it is a pronoun, and not is there, which is a negative. It is getting interrupted. Okay, so we need not worry about it. But have, seen is the verb phrase. Okay, children, I hope you have understood what is verb phrase. Okay, so some more examples they have given. We have traveled to Mexico. Have is the helping verb, traveled is the main verb. Okay, has been teaching. So it is not compulsory that we must have only one helping verb and one main verb. It may be one or two. We have seen already in the previous see. So one or more helping verb can be there in the verb phrase. So here has is one helping verb, been is one more helping verb. So teaching is the main verb. So has been teaching. Next, couldn't wait. We couldn't wait for our first tour of the country. So could is the auxiliary verb, that is helping verb. Along with that, wait is the verb, not is the negative sentence which is getting interrupted. Okay, children, other two is also the same. Next one is also the same thing. Okay, so I hope you have understood what is verb phrases. So now let us discuss about the preposition phrases. Before we see what is preposition phrase, children, you all know what is preposition. Tell me what is preposition. What is preposition, children? We all have learnt in the first lesson what is preposition. A preposition is a word that shows a relationship of a noun or pronoun or connects a noun or pronoun. That is, it gives you a relationship of noun or pronoun, or it connects a noun or pronoun. That is what is the preposition. So now let us discuss what is prepositional phrase. Before we discuss about the prepositional phrase, you have to know what all the preposition words we have. Is it about, above, across, after, against, along, among, around, at, before, behind, below, beneath, beside, between, beyond, but, by. So many words I have given here, you can go through with that. Okay, so now let us discuss what is prepositional phrase. Okay children, so see, a prepositional phrase will include the preposition, the object of the preposition, and any modifiers that might be included. Actually children, that is prepositional phrase, it is a group of words that begins with the preposition and help to explain the relationship between two things. Okay, it always begins with the preposition and it help to explain the relationship between two things. See here, they will fish by the river. By is the preposition, so it starts with the preposition by the river. That is actually here it stands in the place of object. The river is the object, is it? In the sentence it is the object. Okay, so here a prepositional phrase is a phrase that starts with preposition and it is followed by the object of the preposition. Okay, it is followed by the object of the object. Here is the river, starts with preposition by and it is followed by the object of the preposition. Okay children, sometime we may have the modifier they. So sometimes we may have a modifier they over there. Okay children, so here we have a modifier they. So by is the preposition, river is the object of the preposition. This is what is the prepositional phrase. Prepositional phrase always begins with the preposition followed by the object, and sometimes we'll have a modifier also. Okay children, so let us see some more examples. Oh yes, so we'll discuss some more examples now. Okay, now let us discuss some more examples about the prepositional phrases. Children, the man from Texas is here. Here Texas is the object, so it is started with the preposition from. So from Texas is the prepositional phrase. Okay children, so here we don't have any modifier. See, notice that there is no modifier in this prepositional phrase. Then the mantle was decorated with 7 wreaths. So with 7 wreaths, here we have a preposition with, and here we have an object wreath, and modifier is 7 here. Then I have already looked in the closest, the bathroom and the bedroom. So it is not compulsory that we must have only one object, is it? So there are 3 objects in the sentence with the prepositional phrase in. Okay children, so children, in the page number 68 they have given you a book exercises, that is identify the dependent clause or phrases in the following sentence and underline them. So try to write that in your classwork, and then follow to that, complete the following sentence using appropriate prepositional phrases. So both you will complete in your classwork. Children, anyhow I'll send you the PDF of this grammar. So but even though you please try to complete that in your textbook as well as in classwork. Children, I hope you have understood what is clauses and phrases. Clauses is a group of words which give you a complete meaning and it has subject and verb. Phrases is also a group of words. It will give you a meaning, but it does not have a subject and verb. Okay children, so make sure that you're completing the classwork and submitting at office room. Thank you children. Meet you again.